Hello to you all. Welcome to another session here with us at Mathematics Resource Center. And today we'll be looking at the topic compound interest. So this is basically part 1 to 3 parts, alright? So we'll be using this method, we're using the year by year method. In another video you'll see us using a formula, and then in another video you'll see us doing just working 1 or 2 questions that involves more wording. Alright, so let's go with the first question here. Calculate the compound interest for $500 invested at 4% for 3 years. Alright, so what we're actually going to do is that we're going to do it year by year. And compound interest is that the money continues to add up. So I invest $500. At the end of the year, I would have gotten some interest, and then on that money, that interest would be added to what I started with, and then at the start of the next year, I would have that in the account, right, if it's an account, and they would calculate the interest on that money again for the end of the second year, and they continue to do that, right? Simple interest is just once they calculate that money, and that's the interest, and that's it. Well, compound interest looks at what you earned already, add it, and calculates new interest yearly. Alright? So let's go with the first one. And it's 500 invested at 4%. And we're going to use the same formula, principal. So we're going to use the formula principal times rate times time. Alright? And that would be over 100. So we're going to go with the first one, and that's going to be, I will do it year, we're doing first year. So we're trying to find the interest at the end of the first year. So we're going to go with interest equal principal, which is 500. And if you look, I did not put simple interest, no, I put interest. Alright? Because it's the same formula for simple interest. However, I don't want you to be using the term simple interest when you're doing this, because it might just sway you to the wrong path. Alright? So it's 500 times our rate, which is 4%, times, this is where it gets interesting now. My time here is not going to be my 3 years, it's always going to be 1 year when using this method. So I work it year by year. Good? So it's 1 times 1 over 100. So that's the difference with simple interest and compound interest. For compound interest, we calculate the interest year by year. Alright, so continue. So we have I equal 0 cancel 0, 0 cancel 0, 5 times 4, and that's 20. So I know that at the end of my first year, I will have gained $20, right? So I go ahead and put my total at the end of that year. If I gain $20, my total would be my principal plus the interest, which would have given me 500 plus $20, which gives me $520. Alright, so that's the end of first year, and that's just first year. So at the end of first year, I know I have $520. Let's do second year now. I'm going to see if I try and use my space better. So I'm going to do second year now. And for second year, it's going to be the same principal times rate times time over 100. So I go ahead and write I equal, and the principal for second year is not going to be 500, because what you have in the bank at the start of the second year is not 500 but $520. Alright, so that's 520 times our rate remain the same, which is 4. And what will be my time? Is it 1, 2, or 3? It's not 3, because we're not calculating it for the 3 years. It's not 2, even though we're in the second year. It's 1. So we're always looking at it on a year-to-year basis. So it's always going to be 1 that we use for our time. Divided by 100. Good. So we're gonna go and say 0, cancel, 0. Alright, and we look here, we can cancel, so we have 2 into 4, 2, and 2 into 10, 5. So I now have 52 times 2, which is 104, divided by 5. And 104 divided by 5 seems to give me 2. So it seems to give me 20.80. So it seems to give me 20.80. Think I'm right? Yes? So we put a point, add a 0, 5 into 40. It was 8 times. Yes. So that is correct. So at the end of the second year, my interest is $20.80. So my total now would be my principal plus my interest. So my total is my principal plus my interest. So what's the principal that I started second year with? Second year, no, not first year. First year I started with $500. Second year, how much money did I start with? $520. How much money did I gain as interest for second year? $20.80. So now what's my total? My total would be $540.80. See that? Alright, I hope that I'm not writing too small and that you're able to see it properly. Alright, so that's second year and third year now. Same procedure. Interest is going to be our principal times our rate times our times divided by 100. So the principal for third year is what I ended second year with. So at the end of second year, how much money did I have in my account? I had $540.80. So that's my principal starting January 1st the next year. So in the account it have $540.80. Good? And then I'm going to multiply it by the rate, which is the same 4, rate. So it's the same 4, and I multiply it by the time. What is the time going to be? Am I going to write 3 years, given that I'm in the third year? Oh no, I'm not going to write 3 years. My time is always 1 year. I'm always calculating my interest for a 1 year period. So I write 1 divided by, what am I dividing by? 100. Good? So this one, given that it has this one in it, you cannot do 0, cancel the 0 there, right? So let's just go ahead and multiply across. So we're going to do 540.80 times 4 divided by 100. And that gives me 21.63 rounded to the nearest 2dp or the nearest cents. Alright, so that's $21.63. So at the end of the third year, that's the interest I gain. So let me look at the total for at the end of the year. So the total now would be $540.80. That's what I started the year with, plus $21.63. Alright, and that would give me, I just write the answer here, 540.80, $562.43. So that would give me $562.43. However, they asked us to state the interest. So at the end of the 3 years, we have $562.43 in our account. And they asked us not for the total that we have in our account, but the interest that we have gained over the 3 years. So we're going to go ahead and in this little section here, I'm going to try and write that. So the interest would be what I have at the end of the year, which is 562.43, subtract what I started the 3 years with, and that's 500. See? So that's $62.43. So the compound interest that you gained on that money is $62.43. So this is the year by year method. I know it's a bit long. I know you're like, can you get to the end? We're at the end. Alright? So it's a bit long, and as said before, you'll see the video on the formula method, which is way simpler, way shorter, right? However, this is coming from the simple interest that you have already learned. So this is a good method to transform you from what you know already to what you're learning now. Alright? So take the examples in your book, cover the examples, and rewatch the video if you need to rewatch the video, and just make sure that you grasp the concept. Alright? So I'm going to go with B now, quickly, before you get tired of me. I won't be off your screen. Let me quickly go with B. Alright? I remember you have your turn right here that you're expected to complete. Alright? And remember, for the solution for your turn, you can click the link in the description below and it will bring you to the solution, okay? Alright, good. Thank you for your patience. Let's go with B. So we're using the same, and B is just 2 years. It's going to be shorter. So first year, same method, first year, we're going to calculate the interest incurred for first year. So it's the same method, interest equal principal times rate times time over 100. Alright? So we're going to go ahead, our principal is 2,250. Our rate is 5. And our time, remember we do it year by year, so our time is not going to be 2 years, but it's going to be 1. Alright? Divide by 100. Alright, so we can go ahead and we can cancel 0 cancel 0, 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 10, 2. And we can go ahead and simplify this, and this would give me 225 divided by 2, and that would be, let me quickly work that out, 225 divided by 2, and that would be $112.50. So that's the interest we would have incurred at the end of the first year. But we need to find the total at the end of that year. So the total, right? So the total would be this interest that we gave, which is $112, plus the money that we started with, which is $2,250, and that would just give me plus 250, 2,362.50. Alright, so that's it at the end of the first year. So now we're going to go to second year. Alright? So we're going to go to second year, and for second year, we're going to go ahead and work out the same interest that we would get at the end of the second year, and then we'll figure out how much money that we have earned overall. Alright? And definitely figured out the interest overall as well. So we'll go with the second year, and for the second year now, it's the same principal times rate times time. So my principal that I started with is 2,250. Right? But at the end of the second year, my principal is $2,362.50. So my principal here is $2,362.50 times my rate, remains the same, so it's 5 times 5, and by time, we do it year by year, alright? So the time would be 1, alright? So 1 over 100. And go ahead and put that into a calculator. 2362, so that's 2362.5 times 5 divided by 100, and that's 118.25 cents. Alright, so that's $118.25 that we would have incurred at the end of the second year. So let's find the total in the account now. Total equals 2362.50. That's what we started the year with, plus the little bit of interest they gave us, right? $25. So we add that together, 2362.50, and that gives me $2,480, 52. Let's check this again. So 2362.5 plus 118.25. Okay, so it's 75. 2,480.75 cents. Alright, good. Alright, so there goes the amount that we have at the end of the second year. However, they asked us for the compound interest, so we're going to go ahead and do a subtraction. So the compound interest would therefore be what we have at the end of the year, the 2 years, subtracting what we started off with, and that would give me 5 there, 7 there, 0, 3, 2. Alright, so my interest is $230.75 at the end of the 2 years. Alright, and I just wanted to point something out to you. Oops, okay, I'm not seeing what I was about to say, so that's fine. So that's the interest that you get at the end of the 2 years, alright? Remember to do your return, and remember to click the link in the description below to get your answer for your return. Thank you for watching again, and thank you for subscribing, for liking, for sharing. Alright, have a superb day, afternoon, evening, doesn't matter the time of the day. Just be blessed. Bye bye.